one or two long question answers and some other short question answers. So once I'll explain the chapter, reading is already done and we'll read it once again. As I complete with the explanation, I'll tell the other two students to read the chapter. So now be attentive. Then I will ask the questions. Also in between, I might ask the question to anyone randomly. Okay. So the story is about the Blackwood House, which was in Overwood. It is a place in UK, as I told you. And who was the original owner of the Blackwood House? What was the name of that person? The original owner of the Blackwood House. Who was he or she? The rightful owner. See, I thought the chapter is already clear. You already understood, but no one
Miss
is raising
Wali?
it. Yes, Miss Warley was the original owner, and after her death, who became the owner of the house?
Her brother?
Yes, Mr. Warley. Okay, so here mainly we have two characters. The conversation is between the two characters, Dr. Norton and Mr. Cooper. As you already know, Mr. Cooper is an estate agent who deals with the selling of properties. And the first scene is in the office. The first scene is of the office of Mr. Cooper, where he's sitting, is writing on the table, is doing some work, and Dr. Norton walks in. They both meet for the first time. Dr. Norton is he has come to buy the house. He is one of the customers. So let's see what they talk. So first of all, Dr. Norton greets Mr. Cooper and he asks for his identity. Then Mr. Cooper told him to sit down and asked him what the reason he came. Dr. Norton said, Dr. Norton first introduced himself and he said that I have come here to buy a house. I need a house in Overwood. So Mr. Cooper said, okay, so are you ready to buy the house? Dr. Norton said, yes, but it should not cost too much. It should be within my budget. So Mr. Cooper said, actually, the fact is, right now in Overwood, there are not a lot of houses left, not a lot of houses available because mostly the property has been sold. All the houses have been sold already. Now, hardly there are any houses left. And every week the prices are going up. Because when the things are scarce, when the things are less, then the price will go up automatically. So the price of the houses are going up. Like right now, we see the petrol price is going up every week, every day actually. 3 digits we have seen already in the price of the petrol. Are you all aware of that or not? I'm sure you might be aware about the petrol prices. Or you don't read the newspapers.
Don't read.
But like if you go out with your parents or relatives, you might have seen petrol pump पे तो जाते होंगे ना?
Of course.
Of
Yes.
course.
So don't you notice the price of the petrol at that time?
Are we there to notice the prices?
Why not? Wherever you go, you should look around. No? I notice everything. Noticing is a good habit, like observation. Now, petrol prices are something which is common. You should know. So, the prices of the house, the houses were going up every week, and so many people were migrating, coming in Overwood. So it was very difficult to get a house in a low budget. So Dr. Norton said, just give me a brief idea, a rough idea. What is the price over here? So Mr. Cooper said he was pointing at a photo, at a notice which was hanging on the wall of his office. He said, "See this one. This is 5,500 pounds, 5,500 pounds." So Dr. Norton said, "No, no, this is too much. I want something cheaper." So Mr. Cooper said, "Okay, what is your budget?" So Dr. Norton said, "My budget is about 2,000 pounds and a little more. You can say 2,100 or 2,200 pounds, but not more than that." So Mr. Cooper said, "That is not possible. It is next to impossible because you will not get a kind of house which doctor should live in because 2,000 pounds is nothing." Then he said, "See, the other houses which I'll show you, they even cost more than 6,000 pounds. So you forget about this 2,000 pounds." So Dr. Norton said that, "Sorry, 6,000 pounds is not my cup of tea. I must find something else." Then Dr. Norton saw one notice and he saw the picture of the house and he asked, "What is that? Which house is that?" So Mr. Cooper said, "That is the Blackwood house, but you should not buy that. Please don't ask about it." So Dr. Norton said, "What is the matter?" Obviously, we'll ask, "Why are you denying? Why are you saying no?" So Mr. Cooper said, "Yes, it is in the middle of the town, but you should not buy it." And Dr. Norton insisted that a doctor should live in the middle of the town because the patients should reach the doctor easily in the case of emergency. So I should live in the middle of the town and it is the best fit for me. So Mr. Cooper said the price is actually 1,000 pounds. He was hesitant. He did not want to reveal the price, but he had to reveal. So he said it is 1,000 pounds. So Dr. Norton said, "Okay, only 1,000 pounds. Is that all? Really? Why is the price so low?" Because till now, Mr. Cooper was saying 5,500 and 6,000 pounds and all that. So suddenly, why 1,000 pound of the Blackwood house for this one? So Mr. Cooper said that this is 1,000 pounds right now, but it was not 1,000 pounds since the beginning because in the beginning, the price was 4,000 pounds and then it fell to 3,000 and now it has come to 1,000. But still, no one is ready to buy the house. So Dr. Norton asked the reason. That was the reason, 1,000 pounds and it looks so nice. It might be very spacious. Why is no one ready? So Mr. Cooper again was about to speak. Well, the truth is, so he was hesitating. Dr. Norton said, "Don't worry, just go on, speak up. What is the truth? Is it in very bad state? Does it need a renovation? What is wrong with the house? Why aren't you speaking up?" Then Mr. Cooper said, "No, no, actually, it's not about renovation. It's not in a bad state. It is in good order. But there are some strange stories. You can say a kind of rumors are there. Some strange stories are there about the Blackwood house. Now, what is that story?" Now he said that the original owner, the rightful owner, was Miss Warley, and 2 years back, 2 years ago, she died in the same house, and she was a kind of, always complaining. Some people are there who are never satisfied. They always find faults in others, and they are always grumbling. They are never satisfied, never. So that kind of lady she was. She was not a happy woman, but she loved the house, her Blackwood house. So that bonding with that thing which you love, it doesn't break even after the death of the person. That also we have heard many times. So Mr. Cooper said that she loved the Blackwood house, and people say that she comes midnight at 12 to visit her old home. Means her soul comes, her ghost, after her death, and so no one is ready to buy the house because people have heard this and people have noticed this. So Dr. Norton said, "Is it a kind of joke?" Means Dr. Norton was reacting in a very surprising way that he was not ready to believe, he was not ready to digest this. 2 years after her death, she comes back. Are you serious? So Mr. Cooper says that yes, it's correct. When she was alive, most of the times she used to wear the white dress, and people think that she comes back in the same white clothes, and so the people have given a tag, the white visitor, as they call her. Dr. Norton said, I don't believe this kind of things. And after all, he was a doctor, right? So basically, he comes from a science stream. So science denies these facts of the ghosts. So how many of you deny this fact, and how many of you agree this? Do you believe in ghosts? See, I'm not telling you that if you believe, then you are against science, because science also doesn't have answer for some of the things. I tell you, even science is not able to find out the answers, has not got answers to all the questions. That's the fact. So how many of you believe, and how many of you don't believe in ghosts?
I don't
Only
believe.
if, okay, you don't believe.
I also
Whoever
don't believe.
wants to share willingly.
I also don't believe.
Good, good.
I also don't believe.
Okay.
I also.
Anyone who has a different story, means you might have heard, or your close relatives who have experienced it, and you are bound to believe it. Like you still remember that anyone who has shared with you. ऐसा कुछ याद है?
Yes, ma'am. My mom has shared.
If you want to share it with us, you can. In short.
But sir, can I tell in Gujarati? Because it is in
Okay,
Gujarati.
no problem. For 2 minutes, I'm allowing you to switch the language.
Okay.
If you are not comfortable, then.
સર મારા મમ્મી છે ને એ જ્યારે નાના હતા ને એટલે કે 11-12 યર્સના તો નહીં પણ 16-17 યર્સના હતા ને ત્યારે એમનો ભાઈ એ બરોડા રહેતા હતા ત્યારે એમનો ભાઈ છે ને એ ઉપર હશે તો એને નહોતી ખબર કે એને તો એમ જ લાગતું હતું મારા મમ્મીને કે એ ઉપર છે ફર્સ્ટ ફ્લોર ઉપર તો એટલે એનું જ ઘર હતું એના ભાઈનું જ તે તો 3 ફ્લોર્સ હતા તો મમ્મીને એમ થયું કે એ ફર્સ્ટ ફ્લોર ઉપર હશે તો એ ઉપર જવા ગયા ને તો એનો ભાઈ હતો ને એ સર વગરનો હતો હેડ વગરનો
Oh.
તો મારા મમ્મી ફટાફટ નીચે ઉતર્યા અને પછી એ બહાર ગયા ને જોયું ને તો એ કહે કે મારો ભાઈ તો રોડ પરથી આવે છે.
Acha. Okay.
That was a too short story my mother told to me.
Okay. Okay. So, if I tell about myself, I don't disregard these kinds of stories. I don't say they are true or they are whether they are true or not. But I just give diplomatic kind of answers. Frankly, I have never experienced. But yes, there are thousands of people who believe because they have heard from others, right? But if I have to come to one conclusion, I would say that science science is what I support. There is no ghost, but yes, some people, those who are not those who die before time, their soul is unsatisfied, but they never harm anyone unless we have done something wrong to them, right? If we have not done anything wrong, then nothing wrong happens to us. That is what I believe. Even if ghost exists, nothing would happen to us if we have not done anything wrong with anyone. Right? Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that is the bottom line. Even if they exist, let them exist in their world. They won't harm us unless, as I said, if we have done anything wrong. So nothing to worry. Okay, so after her death, 2 years after her death, she comes back. It's not possible. And she wore white dress, as he said. Now, Dr. Norton was insisting Mr. Cooper. Dr. Norton insisted Mr. Cooper that he wanted to visit the house. He wanted to see in which condition the house was. So he said, please take me over there. Mr. Cooper said, I can do that if you wish, but please don't buy that house. You should not buy it. So here we can see how Mr. Cooper is insisting Dr. Norton not to buy the house. But now we know the fact that it was his selfish motive. Then Dr. Norton said, okay, let me check, let me see the house, let me visit. So please take me right now. So they both go to the house. For how long were they in the house? In the Blackwood house? For how long have they been over there? Forgot? For how many hours were they in the Blackwood house?
Half an hour.
No, not half an hour. Both of them, they visit the Blackwood house. So for how long were they over there?
For an hour.
Yes. So here it is written, the same office. An hour later, Dr. Norton, Mr. Cooper walk in and sit down. So both of them came back in an hour, and again they are sitting in the same office. They are again discussing whether to buy this or not. So Dr. Norton said, yes, I like this house. It is big enough. It is very spacious. It is a good place. I want to buy the house. Mr. Cooper said, don't buy it. If you buy it right now, you will feel sorry later on. Then he was showing other houses. See the another house. It is for £6,000. So Dr. Norton said, I don't want it. I cannot spend all that I have. I cannot spend all my savings. I will buy the Blackwood house. Tell me who is the owner. Because see, Mr. Cooper was an estate agent. He was just a mediator. He doesn't have the authority to sell the house. The owner has to give the permission and the signature and the paperwork. So he asked, who is the owner? So Mr. Cooper said, Mr. Warley, because Miss Warley died, and so being the brother, he got the authority. Maybe no one else would be there in the family. So Mr. Warley is the owner now, and he lives in London. So Dr. Norton asked, is he interested in selling the house? Does he want to sell it? Mr. Cooper said, yes. But no one is ready to buy the house. That is the problem because of all the stories about the white visitor. And that is the reason for the price being so low, only £1,000. Now, again, Mr. Cooper is showing the other houses. This is what he is trying to divert his mind. He is trying to divert his mind to some other house. He's saying that, see, the house in the Pool Road, you can buy that house. Dr. Norton, now he will stick to his point. He said, no, I don't want it. So now Mr. Cooper, again, he is insisting in some other way. What is he saying? Listen, if suppose you bought Blackwood house, suppose you are buying it, okay? So in the middle of the night, the visitor will come into your room, the white visitor. Will you like that? And she will come every night at 12 o'clock exactly. How will you like it? Will you be able to sleep? Will you be happy over there? Just think about it. Don't rush with your decision. So Dr. Norton, again, he said, I don't believe the stories, like many of you said. And Mr. Cooper said, okay, then don't come back to me and don't complain that now I want to sell this house. Suppose you cannot sleep over there, what will you do? So Dr. Norton said, it is as simple as that. I will sell the house to someone else. Then Mr. Cooper, again, he kept a counter question. My dear sir, you just think that you will buy the Blackwood house, you will stay there for some days, and then you will come to me that you want to sell the house. But don't you think that the others will ask the reason? Why are you selling the house? So others will come to know, the people in the town will come to know that you have seen the white visitor and you have been harassed by the white visitor, and so you want to sell the Blackwood house. So do you think that anyone would give a single pound to you? Would anyone buy the Blackwood house from you after you experience the white visitor in the house? Then again he said, now you please see that house in the Pool Road. पता नहीं Pool Road पे क्या है, बार-बार ये Pool Road पे चला जाता है. So he said, see the house in the Pool Road. You should buy that house. So Dr. Norton said, will Mr. Warley let me sleep in the Blackwood house one night before I buy it? Okay. So now he had an idea because Mr. Cooper was insisting so much. So Dr. Norton had an idea. He said that ask Mr. Warley, the owner of the house, before buying the house, I want to sleep in that house for one night. I want to see how does the white visitor come, if at all she comes. So Mr. Cooper said, I don't know, but this is not the house for you. Please don't buy this. So Dr. Norton was firm on his decision. He was not going to change his decision. So Dr. Norton said, please just write a letter for me. Please write a letter and ask him if he is allowing me to spend the next Tuesday night in the house. And I'm sure I will not experience any white visitor. And it will be a good deal for me. I will buy the Blackwood house for £1,000, and it will be well within my budget, almost half of my budget, uh, and I will save the other money that I have. Then Mr. Cooper said, "See, Mr. Cooper is still anyhow he is trying to insist." Then what does Mr. Cooper say? "But where will you sleep? There is no bed in the house." So Dr. Norton said, "Don't worry, I'm an old soldier," means he might be an ex-army man. So he said that I have a small bed, because these soldiers, they have their bed. They use it when they are posted at the borders. So he said that I have a small bed. Don't worry, I will take it with me. I don't need a double bed kind of bed in the house. Don't worry, I can adjust myself. Then Mr. Cooper said, even there is no light, there is no electricity. How will you spend the night without fan, light? How will you do it? Then he said, don't worry, I also have a lamp with me. I will take it with me. So, you know, Dr. Norton had a solution for every question that Mr. Cooper was asking him. Every solution to each and every problem that he was arising. So Mr. Cooper said, okay, I will write a letter to Mr. Varley. I will ask for the permission, but I don't like this. I don't like this at all. कैसे अच्छा लगेगा उसको? Because his intention was something else. What was his actual intention?
To buy the house.
Yes. But he cannot reveal that fact. So now it is scene 3, the scene of the Blackwood house. Finally, Dr. Norton has got permission to spend one night in the Blackwood house, and this is the scene of the bedroom. It is 11:59, 1 minute to 12, Tuesday night. Dr. Norton is reading in the bed, and the clothes are on the floor, and there is also the suitcase lying on the floor. Now Dr. Norton is waiting. 11:59, he is waiting for the white visitor, but he is very sure that there is no such white visitor, as you all also don't believe. But it was a kind of fun. It was a kind of entertainment for him that he was going to have. So he was waiting for the white visitor, if ever she comes from the other world, because ghosts, they are not in our world. They are not in the world of humans. They come from the other world, as we believe, because after the death, life after death, it is said, we don't know what happens, but it is surely the fourth dimension. If you have not heard, I'll tell you later on. There are 4 dimensions. We cannot go in the 4th dimension. So he was waiting for the ghost to come, to arrive. Then suddenly someone enters the door. The door slowly opens, like we see in the movies, in the scary movies, right? The door slowly opens. It is midnight, and the sound of the door, and the door opens, and Dr. Norton asks, "Who's that? Who's that? What is happening? Who are you?" He started asking questions, and someone dressed up in white appears and quietly stands there. And Dr. Norton is not afraid. He is asking, "Who are you? What do you want?
So,
Why don't you speak?" Yes?
so we have done this yesterday.
Good morning, Aina. Aina, did you join now?
No, sir.
See, we have completed with the reading. I know that, and the lesson is so easy that while reading, you understood the whole lesson. But I'm completing my work from my side. I have to explain the lesson, so I'm doing that.
Okay.
Okay. Did you have your tea? Do you like tea?
Yes.
Okay. You must have had right now. You might be having it.
Yes.
Okay. Give also I like it, so give some to me. Now, visitor standing in the front of the bed and says, "Go away." Dr. Norton said, "No, I won't go. I am busy reading. Can't you see?" So he's acting so normal, like he's talking with a human being. Like he was sure that there's no ghost behind this white clothes. So he says that I am reading the book. But if someone else would be there, then the person ought to be afraid. Means the normal person is afraid at the sight of the visitor midnight, wearing the white clothes, and the face is also not visible. So for a few seconds at least, the reaction would be scary. But here he's not afraid at all. So visitors slowly said with long pauses, like how we see in the movies, "This is my home. You must leave now." So he was trying to scare Dr. Norton. Dr. Norton says, "Go away. I want to finish the book. Don't disturb me." Visitor, again in the scary tone, trying to threaten him. "Fear is coming to you. Fear." But it was a kind of fun for Dr. Norton. He said, "I am not afraid at all." And suddenly, Dr. Norton throws the book at the visitor. Now, see, if it's a real ghost, if it is a soul, then the book would go from one side to other side. Book तो आर पार निकल जाएगी ना. If it is a soul, as we know, because it has no body, then this ghost moved the head aside, moved the head away. That means it is a body, it is a human body. Then only it will try to save himself. No, ghost won't try to save, because ghost won't get hurt with the book or with any object that is thrown at him or her, right? Are you getting it? That was the first proof
Yes.
that it was not a ghost, it was a human body. So, you are afraid. Then he started asking questions. Do you have the books in your world? Do you come from another world? I think, I wonder. Then speaking, see, he was conversing with him, and while speaking this sentence, just in a fraction of second, he jumped out of the bed. This Dr. Norton jumped out and he pulled the white cloth off the visitor's face. Means the visitor just did not have the time to think. And before he could think of anything else, Dr. Norton just removed that mask, that white cloth off the face of the white visitor. Then the truth was revealed. It was none other than Mr. Cooper. So Dr. Norton greeted him. "Good evening, Mr. Cooper. How are you?" Mr. Cooper said, "You should be afraid. Why were you not afraid? Why did you do this? No one else did, no one else has done what Dr. Norton did today. Everyone ought to be afraid." So Dr. Norton said, "Please sit down. We will talk." So first of all, he said, "I am happy to see you over here. And it's very kind that you came so late." Both are sitting on the bed and talking. So Dr. Norton asked that why did you come so late? If you have anything about the deal, about some business, then we can talk. Why did you come? Tell me. So Mr. Cooper said, I did not want you to buy the house. Now the truth, he reveals the truth finally. He has to admit the truth because he was caught red-handed. So when someone is caught red-handed, there is no other option except for surrendering. So Dr. Norton, yes, of course not. So Dr. Norton ने क्या सोचा? Dr. Norton said, because the price was only £1,000. So if I buy that house, you won't get that much commission. And you wanted me to buy the house for £6,000, so you would get more commission. Can anyone explain this line? See, estate agent, they are like mediators. So if I go to an estate agent and if I buy a house for £1,000, estate agent would not get that much money in between as a profit, as a brokerage. That is called brokerage. But if I buy the house for £6,000, then he would get more brokerage. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And that is their work. उसमें से तो उन लोग को पैसे मिलते हैं. So if they sell the things which are costlier, they would get higher profit. So Mr. Cooper said, no, that was not the reason. I was not doing all this for more commission. Then what was the reason, he said? So Mr. Cooper said, the reason is that I wanted to buy the house in the first place. Then Dr. Norton said, till now I was not here. You are an estate agent. You had the authority, means you could have bought the house up till now. Why did you not buy it? So Mr. Cooper said, the price was falling down every week, as I said, and the falling down means only for this house. Other houses, the prices were going up. Only this house was the house whose price was falling down. And he said, I have only got £200, not even 2,000. and the bank was ready to give the loan for
Bank was ready to give the
6,600.
loan for 6,600.
Whose mic is this?
Whose mic is this?
Please mute. What is the name? Okay. So bank was ready to give him the loan for 600 pounds. So totally it would be 600 plus 200, 800 pounds. But still, the Blackwood House was quoted for 1,000 pounds. So he said, Mr. Cooper said that I was spreading all these rumors, all these stories, just for bringing down the price. And if it would come down 200 pounds, then it would be 800, and I would have bought it. But उसके पहले Dr. Norton आ गया. So Dr. Norton said, okay, so these stories were made by you, and these stories were really helpful, weren't they? And you started all these stories, right? And you were spreading all these rumors, and you were spreading all this kind of threat in the people in the town. So now I'll tell everyone that I know the White Visitor, and White Visitor is none other than Mr. Cooper. So should I tell everyone? Mr. Cooper is the White Visitor. Mr. Cooper said, Mr. Cooper, obviously, what would he do? Please don't tell anyone, Dr. Norton, I'll lose my business. So now, if Dr. Norton tells everyone in the town, then Mr. Cooper would go bankrupt. He would have to shut his business because the customers would not approach him. They would not believe him anymore. So this is what happens. See, this is human psychology. Human beings, they commit mistakes, and then when they are caught, they apologize. So why don't they think beforehand? Right? Do you agree? Apologizing later on doesn't make any sense, does it? Dr. Norton, why didn't you think of that before? Now, good night, Mr. Visitor. I just want to finish my book and then I'll have good night's sleep. So, Dr. Norton finally said to Mr. Cooper that you should think of all this before making this mistake, before making such mistakes, before spreading these rumors. You should have thought of this, that you will lose your business and you will lose your reputation and all. Now, when you are caught, you are apologizing. Anyway, he said, now go away. I want to complete my book. I want to complete reading it and I want to sleep. It's late now. And he also said, he added that I'll come to your office tomorrow. I'll complete all the paperwork with you, 10 o'clock in the morning, and I will buy the house from you officially. And now Mr. Cooper cannot deny him. So finally he said good night and goodbye. And finally, he might have bought the house the next day. Understood? Everyone, is there any query, any doubt, any questions?
No.
No, sir.
So I asked something which is in relevance with the last paragraph. He apologized, right? He said he'll lose all his business. Human beings tend to make mistakes. They also commit crimes, severe crimes, and then they apologize. But is it forgivable always?
No.
No. Sometimes it is too late. So think twice and act wise. For doing anything, just think about it. Okay. So today I spoke and you heard. Have you all completed your fair book? All the chapters up till now in English and grammar.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes.
So mostly today I'll try to send this chapter and you will complete this chapter in your fair book. There are no other objectives in this chapter. The notes are not as lengthy as the other chapters because this is a role play. So now, finally, does anyone still believe in the ghost?
No.
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 Okay. Even I don't believe, but sometimes at midnight, if
Like,
our
I don't
sleep is
believe, but
disturbed.
I'm scared.
Okay. See, we should respect the fear, right? What you said, I'm just taking one step ahead. डरना बुरी बात नहीं है. It's nothing wrong. It's not being coward. We should be afraid, but we should be we should have a practical approach. That's it. Being afraid is not a sign of weakness, not at all. Okay, so bye everyone. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your day. Take care
Bye, sir.
and let me know
Bye.
if you have any queries. Bye everyone.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Goodbye.
Bye, Sunny sir. Have a nice day.
Rabia Bashri. Khadija.